So here we have Venom's team versus Dotato. The first game went by pretty quickly, so I will skip that. We now, let's see, hold on, let me skip it to here. Oh boy. Let's restart this. Our Spirit Open, Bane and Weaver OP, Spirit Breaker Band. First 2-pick Tinker. I don't know if I would have went with the Storm Spirit Open here. I just feel like Spectre is so good. Same with Zeus, honestly. Maybe they don't have a Zeus or Spectre picker. Night Stalker's good. So I feel like we've seen Venom pick this Kunkka carry before, and it definitely fits the tempo. You want this like guy who basically just sits in front of you on Tinker, and you have a save with the LC. Radiant kind of solid draft overall. I mean, Night Stalker, Storm, they're reasonable. You know, I prefer Zeus over Storm, but Storm's really good against Tinker as well. The one thing I don't like is this Phantom Assassin. Doesn't the thing about PA is that you could get the blur with the Ags and stuff, and Tinker can't target you from a distance. But I feel like the days of sitting back here on Tinker are gone. Tinker's like sit in trees and use Shivas and shit. I don't know if that matters anymore. Let's see what the matchups go like. So, oh yeah, and that's another thing. Storm doesn't do that great right off the rip into a Tinker anymore. I mean, Tinker's leveled these two spells, and Storm likes to hit units. What's the MMR matchup here? We have Divine 4 versus Ancient 3. Okay. We look at the side lanes. Kunkka's doing pretty good top. This guy's definitely suffering. Techie's is not doing that great either for last hits or anything like that. Let's see. They got one kill up here on probably the support. Yep. Then bottom. Who else got the kill? Alright, bottom, right? Yeah. That was a good rotation by Storm right off the rip. He uses teleport. Is he gonna tank this? I don't know if he can. Yeah. I feel like he's just unnecessary. Ooh. This is really rough for Storm. He uses teleport to come up here, and now he has to walk back. He's gonna fall behind. Yep. Storm Spear is now 500 behind a Tinker. I guess they're sacrificing their Storm Spirit for farm on everyone else, but so like they're off to a good start, but you're up 7 kills, but you only have 1k net worth advantage. Definitely not ideal. Now you are on the second day. Tinker has his blink. He's getting Battle Fury. I don't know. Do you need this Battle Fury really? He has Blur. Man, he could have lived there. He had Blur. Come on, bro. You're high enough MMR to not have that happen to you. So we skip ahead a little bit. These kill advantages don't mean shit for Radiant, I mean, honestly. Good kill by Techies. I mean, that's the one thing that's nice about Techies into Tinker, right? Like, he jumps into them, into your stuff in the trees, and you can blow them up. Losing that tower really hurts. Getting trades if you're using Night Stalker ultimate is not ideal. I mean, they slowed it down at least, so that's good. The advantage that you have on PA, I don't know. I don't know if it was giving up your Storm. I feel like Storm at this point should still be ahead of the Tinker off farm. This mid tower still up. It's kind of a big deal for Tinker. So, I feel like it's very reactive on the Radiant side. I don't see any like item condition or anything that comes out that lets them win this game necessarily. I mean, sure, level 25 everyone maybe, but it just feels like the Tinker advantage is gonna last a really long time. LC can also pick people off. You don't want that situation where like you have a offlaner that can solo pick people. You don't see Kunk on the map. You're pushing this out. I don't know. This feels pretty obvious. They're probably rushing. Should have done a scan. Let's see. Was scan up? Yeah, scan was up. That's unfortunate. I don't know if those mines were enough, honestly, though. It was rough. I think Deso BKB Nullifier was the rush, not this Battle Fury. You're on a timer. No Orchid on Storm either. Everyone has their own preference of playing, but I just feel like against this modern day Tinker build, you just gotta you need something to stop him. They don't have it. How did they find her? She went for the BKB TP back here. When you're in this situation, that's pretty much what you want to do is farm in this area. So I don't blame him, but you're still fighting without your carry now. Yeah, I think this one is just the enemy opens on a Tinker pick. I feel like you gotta adjust your draft better or do better with your open response. So here we have 2-2-2-2 versus Strilling's team. We've actually played both of these guys quite a bit. Well, Strilling we played in one of our matches, and 2-2-2 we scrimmed. 2-2-2's strategy seems to revolve around having a strong start for their carry. I chose this game between their two games because I thought it was interesting that LeBron or 2-2-2 loses at the open with their carry, and then like Fate plays a hard-fought battle to end up winning the game. And this is actually a matchup of carries in general. Salt is pretty strong in his strength carries that kind of have like a bit of a timing to them. And this guy's more about his like play greedy or win lane, one or the other. I'll be curious how this game goes. I don't remember Strilling's mid player, so it's pretty even. I think they're both ancient. Oh no, Divine, sorry. It's a little bit uneven. Okay, let's see how everyone's looking right off the rip. So mid is Suffer. Both guys are not doing well on last hits. Tiny securing a lot of last hits here. The nice thing about Tiny carry is he doesn't care about ET's spiritual aura. It just, elder, I forget what it's called, natural order, because it affects like base armor, which is off agility and crap. I noticed this guy likes to stack, so I'll be curious if he does some stacks for his carry. He's gonna just stack for himself. Playing a little greedy this time. Honestly, both carries are doing pretty good. Tiny just a little bit ahead. Let's accelerate. You can see right here. He's stacking up a little bit. Honestly, I play mid kind of similarly too. I kind of like stacking for my carry when possible. Let's see, is Ursa gonna go Battle Fury? Too early to tell. You can see here's where the differential starts happening. We got a 10 difference on last hits. Off lanes are equal, mid is equal. Okay, game it's evening out a little bit. Now that he's got armor, he's harder to kill significantly. I think their timing pass to potentially kill Tiny bottom unless Les shows up for a gank. Is it just 2 invises and back to back? That's a big fuck up if they catch him here without. That's kind of a big deal. Trading only for support. They're pretty smart by this guy to rage right there on that cookie. Not a lot of players would rage that early. Oh, that was... I don't think he's gonna be able to get it. Yeah. Odd combo. Maybe miscommunicated. But it's gonna cost them, I think. Yeah, your offlane, your mid is here too. Guess you could potentially bait. Oh shit. But here comes the strength of Tiny. What a messy engagement. Got juke. I feel like Salt could have manned up here. They're both like low. Maybe he didn't see the fact that this guy had no mana. Come on, brah. Can't be a pansy. So last is similar. How's the net worth? Tiny's just pulling ahead. He's got higher value, net worth, and kills, all that shit. He's gonna go for a fighting build on Ursa. So they're kind of flipping the script a little bit. I guess they're okay with that though. These can be taken with the group. Leshrac and Ursa together can take it. Honestly, the score, whatever the score is showing, like that's even, but so is net worth. I mean, 2k net worth advantage is not that much. Especially considering that one of these heroes, actually really 2, Ursa and ET don't farm well. You can see right here the ET differential with Mars is showing. I like how everyone is like smoked and shit in my replay. I see what Trant's trying to do, but if you're dying constantly, it's also not great. Just because you can tank something doesn't mean you should tank something. Rotations and stuff. Experience. This guy's starting to fall behind in mid. Maybe being too sacrificial. This right here is a characteristic of why people like Void Spirit are big right now. That's unfortunate. I think he was still dead, but... Can you sit here, honestly? I guess so. So sloppy. You definitely don't want your Trant to go next to you when you're trying to do your combo. So Roshan died in the middle of all this. Yeah, Yeah, with the tree and armor, it makes just a simple value Morbid Mask you very useful for taking Roshan. Let's see if he gets caught doing this though. This could be bad. Oh, what a disaster. Wow. That was a really messy fight. I mean, overall, it's actually not too bad for Dyer. Nice try. Valiant effort. Okay, that explains a lot. Sorry for the detour. This BKB timing is kind of big, but oh, I feel like Tiny doesn't have enough farm for this game. Tiny just kind of doesn't like this matchup of Ursa. It's a really good matchup into this Elder Titan, but yeah, I think this is where we see the previous game we watched, the difference between carries. The other guy, Phantom Assassin, went Battle Fury, and this game, this guy went Diffusal and was just running at the enemy. Just showing the power of sometimes just manning up as a carry. Wow. Interesting trade on both sides. Although you definitely think that's more useful for Ursa than Quap. Especially since he's not going the right click Quap build. Well, they ended up with another Aegis. Having a support down constantly is definitely disadvantageous. I feel like Tiny wants to fight, but Ursa does too. So I'm trying to think what the thinking was with this Tiny pickup, other than ET. This Ursa with the living armor is definitely coming in clutch. Very good for tanking Roshan. But honestly, for all these objectives and wins and stuff that Dyer keep getting, it's really not that advantageous for them so far. Worth. This feels like this the week 1 game where you have two entities kind of fighting past each other. There's the game with Venom where they went Bristleback into Naix. Use BKB. Oof. What's going on here, man? I like jumped to a very confusing series of events. I don't know if you wanted to keep him here, bro. You're out of mana. guess with this invis rune he gets out. Nope. Think you should have teleported out. So basically, we trade top for bottom, and we give a die back on Ursa. Gotcha. And they lose this Aegis right here. I guess Radiant realized that all he really needs to do is just burst people on Tiny. Is Ags really worth it on Tiny here as carry? We shall see. I don't think so. Oh, that was brave. Pushing into Lyshrek is so cancer. When you have like Aegis on one of your cores, one of the worst things you can do is die on support. Because like, yeah, you have that life, but it really is that advantage of the extra health on your core. I mean, look at that Ags. Look what it accomplished. I don't know. Granted, he is probably the third best carrier. I don't know. I think Queen of Pain or even Jakiro would have been better. Snapfire you could argue is solid too with the Mars ulti. I'm like confused where this refresher on Mars thing's coming from. I feel like it's just makes your hero so one directional. If Ursa gets an Ags, they can't burst him at any point on Radiant. Yeah, support's getting picked on the back line here. Now you just have a carry that gets left behind. Queen of Pain went this weird hybrid build. Maybe a right-click build on Queen of Pain wouldn't have been so bad this game. They repel them. Not worth swings back to Dire. When you get cleave on Elder Titan, your hero just, I don't know, such a big power spike with that level 20 talent. You're also fighting into ET and no one has a fucking Assault Cuirass. It's so bizarre to me. What? So he's got ultimate. BKB, he refreshes. BKBs, panic runs away. Oh, Oh, what a disaster. You just can't burst Ursa. The fucking ultimate is just too much, man. You have to kill everyone but Ursa. That's buyback on Mars, by the way. Yeah. If Ursa got Ags on top of the with the cooldown reduction and cast anywhere, it wouldn't have been even close. That Roshan was the only thing that made this game last longer. I think that if Dyer farmed a little bit better, this game wouldn't have been as close. So here is one of these two teams that befuddles me, and I think it's like one of those meme-tastic, the sum of the parts is greater than the individual parts and vice versa. Feels like Big Toes, Big Rock, whatever, his team should be doing pretty good this season, and yet they seem to struggle a bus. And yet, on the flip side, we have a collective team whose highest ranks are like Divine 3, and they somehow get through each game. And I chose this one because it's kind of one of the more ridiculous scoring games. I think it ends up like 60 kills to like 30, and the team with 30 kills ends up winning. So right off the rip, we have a Queen Pain mid into a Void Spirit mid. Divine 3 versus Ancient 3. Hungry Phoenix is feeding, but I don't want to get reported and banned, so it's doing great. The farm build seems to be paying off for Queen of Pain. Probably should have blocked one of these camps. I don't know if it's even worth dodging. It's a level 1. Queen of Pain is definitely one of those matchups where you're not a big fan of on Void Spirit, because like she doesn't do any like physical back to you really early on. It's all magic, and he's not Ember. Bloodseeker carry ends up getting pressured a little bit. Once they go all gas, no brakes, you don't really have much choice. So now he's trying to rotate at bottom. Get some kills going. Kind of a big deal that Pink actually got both those kills. Did you really need to get 3 points in your dispel? Kraken Chill, I mean. I guess maybe the harass was just that bad. But if you have no health regen, it makes it feel way worse than it really is. Phoenix is doing a pretty good job here. I mean, if you really want, you could go aggro this creep camp with the creeps and go hit the tower. You'll only lose like one creep to the neutrals, and you'll get way more damage on the tower. So your support's doing it for you. And now a Tide Hunter can teleport. Although this could be a feed Tide. He is pretty tanky. I would like to get a raindrop though if I'm gonna do this. Yeah. I don't know. Doing this phase boots build and you think you can tank this? That's questionable. With a silencer ulti, sure, but From what I remember, Cult of Pain is definitely very good about their timings, like getting the objectives even when they're not necessarily ahead. This Void Spirit's not feeling very great right now. Okay score, but I don't know. 700 behind Quap. Can't get ruptured on Queen. Trick cancelled. What were you thinking, bro? Oh, the bait. That's what he was thinking. Big plays. God, the sniper pick just doesn't feel that great. Sits behind us, nothing. Oh my god, if you're gonna die here too. Oh, such bad coordination. And they normally have good coordination early game. I mean, I see what Quap was thinking, but I don't know. We've had the Night Stalker ultimate, you just have no follow-up. They really defended this tower. They threw their bodies. They paid that fee in blood. Ends up going down eventually anyways. I mean, what's impressive is that even if through all these feeds and the tower going down, there's only a 3k advantage on Dire. Honestly, most of the net worth advantage is all on the Bloodseeker. Oof. Dude, this hurts. Yo, report Phoenix for feeding? Yule's rush into Night Stalker never feels great. You definitely want that. BKB. I think if leveling his crippling fear, you're just gonna be food on Void Spear if he catches you. Oof. Battle of Attrition. Sacrifice the sniper for a general win. Is Phoenix gonna carry this game for Radiant? Sniper definitely doesn't feel very good right now. You didn't finish Roshan? This is like a weird hybrid build by Bloodseeker. I guess Radiant really thinks with this BQB timing they can win the fight, so they're stalling. I guess it makes sense. You want you want what, one of these three to be the only one who can move on the Radiant cores. Yeah, Night Stalker can't move right now. That felt awkward. No, what were you thinking? There's no way. You're not invisible. What were you thinking? Not blinking earlier? So at this point, you may have noticed that Sniper's actually farming pretty well. I think even though Dyer's been doing pretty well here, the relative gap between these two carries is kind of shrunk. This 3k at this point is not as important, especially since, you know, if you rupture Sniper, he's just going to stand there anyways and fight. It's really going to go down to this NS. I really don't like the fact that these two's net worth has stagnated so much. I mean, Void Spirit's net worth should not be that much higher than the rest of you. Sloppy. Yeah, you Yules and now you're inside the silence. Oh, but you end up living. I feel like Phoenix is using himself as an aura, silencing aura instead of actually fighting most of these fights. Granted, he did disassemble his Echo. He's going for the Ag Shard. He was talking about this earlier. No Ags yet on Weaver. Oh, the Elven Tunic coming in clutch. No bash from the... He's got Abyssal now, though. Pushing into this high ground must be hard. Sniper with the Lion Hex potential. And you're just a bunch of melees. Or your core that wants to hit shit. Did they even care about this Roshan? Nope. So they get Aegis again. Ultimate Greed on Bloodseeker. I feel like with Lion dead, Void Spirit needs to be setting up a kill on this Sniper. RN, Yules, Q, back out. There we go. How does Dyer throw this? They die back on Queen of Pain too. Jesus. What are the charts? We are 2% win chance for Radiant right now. Can they get more here? Oh, this always feels bad. Charges on Void Spirit. Yeah, now with this Weaver and Night Stalker to just give Pew Pew Sniper. Game's a little harder. What are you doing there, buddy? Wow. I think this is where we're starting to see the limitations of Tidehunter as an offlaner. And S is just, even though he's really not that rich, is just giving more utility. Yeah, honestly, Tide's not that rich either. I'm not sure about this E-Blade build. This whole build seems odd. I guess maybe he's thinking about going a Dagon build with this, but... And they lost their Weaver right off the rip, too. Shit's looking rough. Without Aeon Disc, it's really hard to play up on Weaver the way he was playing. I think people don't realize that Sniper actually has really good night vision. So with Night Stalker, it's actually very synergistic. You kill Weaver, but how do you actually kill the game? Come on, eat an ancient. Lame. Useless Ravage. I mean, you have Big Rock fighting into fucking everyone here. Do you have buyback? Yeah, Aegis, and they're gonna let all the radiant come back up. Alright. Clearly the highlight system does not work. They burned their silencer ulti. We have no buyback on Bloodseeker. I feel like this was the time to be careful here. You lose Jakiro off the rip. Mediocre Ravage. NS does die though. Oh no. He got silenced. The thing is, there's no more low heroes left for Big Rock to fight into this. He's got no BKB, no buyback. Oh, the power of perseverance ends up winning the game for Radiant. They're gonna push this, realize there's no buyback? I mean, can they even end this by then? Or is Radiant Dire gonna go in? Oh, that was sloppy. You should have stunned and then gone out. They have no more. They have no dot. 4 minutes on Fortify. Phoenix is just going for the end here. And there's no way. Oh, wow. This would be painful. So we have K-Stig's team versus Star's team. K-Stig's definitely is one of those teams that probably has the capacity to go reasonably far, but I think that they've been a little wishy-washy at times. Let's find out how this goes. Let me pull up last week's results. Week 2, K-Stig's 1-1 with Ego. Yeah. So this game we basically have the typical Stars formula. Put Doggo on a carry and have him sit behind Vinny and Stars while he farms up. But the interesting thing is he actually goes aggro this time. I'm a little surprised, but maybe they figured LC couldn't man fight the CK pick. And I know CK was a bit of a denied pick from so Doggo wouldn't have it. But I really don't think that that's how you draft against them. I don't think you necessarily deny pick them. I think you just kind of want to feed off of him. I don't know. Let's see how the lanes are going. Skip ahead 3-4 minutes. And you can see right here, this is going okay. I mean, you probably want a little bit more on CK, but it's not the worst. But you see right here after rip, we have a 400 advantage for Stars. Not the greatest. I think the game is all a little lopsided though, because at the beginning there was like 3 deaths on both sides. Just a lot. I feel like when this is happening, you gotta have your team teleport, but they're being pressured in the other lanes, and Shadow Demon has no mana. So basically, the Stars team has 3 really high MMR players. Definitely one of those situations where, why are you up there farming? I really don't think that this should be this much of a difference in net worth in mid. Skip ahead a little bit. That was good. Only level 2 liquid fire, so you have to ulti for this. I feel like with the ultimate you can maybe fight into this, yeah, slow this down. You gotta step up, can't let him take so many of those. Oh, that was sloppy. Miscommunication. They could definitely get killed the Leshrac. No, I don't know how I feel about this Clockwork offlane that I've been seeing. Or is it Clockwork 2? Who's got the last hits? Yeah, sorry, Clockwork 4, I mean. Yeah, Clockwork 4, Jakiro 3. Odd. You also had the option to rotate your lanes when you saw this open. Granted, they didn't do that bad top, but I don't know. This is probably not that much worse than a normal amount of last hits for him, unless he has a free lane, so I don't know if it was worth it. Also, Witchblade on off lane, I don't know, just doesn't feel good. You had this like double ranged hero core, and neither of you have like a guaranteed stun. They're This Jakiro pick into this Treant is definitely a little suffer. You're not getting enough progress on these when you whittle them down. Also, it just really feels like there's like a lot of bad synergy coming out in these matchups, or bad counterplay. Like we have CK into Leshrac, we have Treant with the Jakiro. It just feels like Radiant has an answer for most of it. Honestly, their worst pick is potentially this Razor. Not the biggest fan of it, but I mean, honestly, when you have two other matchups that are like very good for you, it doesn't really matter. No, way too early on that. Should have macro pyred and then W'd. I would just run with the Corbelis right here. Get this tower down while I can. Fuck the creeps. There's a weird hook shot by Clockwork. I guess granted. I don't know, maybe you couldn't have killed it. Awkward. You see that you're trying to slow down the Radiant, but for what? Your CK is not that ahead. Network advantage isn't that bad, but you definitely have this problem with the stars mid. Clockwork is honestly more farmed than I'd expect for a Clockwork 4. Look at the difference between these two. Let's see what happens here. So what happens when you skip BKB, but I mean, it's probably intentional. No BKB. Buys back on stars with no teleport. Honestly, not a horrible trade. Pretty impressive by Dyer. I feel like K-Sticks could have performed better there though. Him not having good mana pool there is the only thing that made the CK die. Also, tinking a full channel or full ultimate from Vinny. Easy bait. I can almost promise you this is the last time they're gonna pick this Skyraf. Oh, he had such a good... I think this is where he realized he needs BKB. Yep. I get Aegis. I feel like he needs... does he need eggs? I don't know. Feels like eggs would be nice on Death Prophet here. Playing without your Shadow Demon, bro. What a riveting life of Skyraf Mage. One of the things that people need to remember is you don't have to push a tower because you have Aegis. I would get out after this. Your ultimate's got 20 seconds left. Okay. Yep. They do get Vinny though. That's good. Doggo ends up dying. Teleport. Be a chain feed. I mean, we knew LC had no duel. He should have just teleported out in front of them. He had it. He had BKB. Easy. That would have been a huge trade. No, he didn't get out. Notice how Radiant have the outpost and Dire did not grab this outpost. It's hard in the moment though to do that, real talk. I think the Radiant realized that the Clockwork is a big component to their draft. They go on to Death Prophet, he gets banished, Clockwork jumps on the backline, disrupts it. Also Refresher with the eggs is coming up and BKB on Razor. You're playing without your buddy. I mean, granted, this was an abnormal fight. Did he buy out right before he did? Oh, he did. 400 gold. So, a few things had to happen there for them to throw this game. No buyback, double damage on Vinny. Shadow Demon not being in the right position. It's not quite the end though. You still have CK, but that buyback really hurt. He fell back behind. Stars is not worth, it's just gigantic. It's almost like he has an Ags for free from Roshan, but he doesn't. But if you have map control and you're just speed farming, I mean, he's got Boots of Travel and Blank. It's pretty free farm. This was so sloppy. He walked in, didn't BKB, lost all of his illusions, lost all his health. No, he's all by himself into 4 heroes. Alright, that's it. I think actually K6 had a solid case for this game. Even though I was doubting his Jakira, I think it was actually doing a little bit more than I expected. I don't know if you really need his BKB. I mean, the blink on stars really definitely opened up the use case for it, but I feel like you could still blink against the blink, right? You get a blink, you can outblink the enemy blink. With Leshrac, it's a little hard because it's down to the frame or whatever, so you never know, but I mean, look, I mean, he's definitely killable, right? Stun? Don't let him BKB! Okay, he died. Doesn't matter. Holy shit. There is signs of life here. If they got stars here, I don't know if they knew if he teleported in there. It would have been huge. I mean, you have no more racks. Are they going to give this up to the Diabolic Edict? Split push? No way, right? And they have no fortify, I guess. And the Diabolic Edict explosions too. Feels bad. I feel like they kind of had the opening to do it, but fell apart under the pressure. The worst part too is that I feel like Clockwork got to teleport back, got him to pick. Alright, this is Hobbs versus Off. And as you know, this week, going into it, Off was placed in S tier. Kind of just because they had a good performance last week against Venom's team. But it feels like Hobbs had their number this week. If we look at the open, well, first off, I don't know how I feel about this Troll Warlord carry. Not my favorite. We played into it today and just doesn't feel that scary anymore. Death Prophet versus the Razor, really, it's not that bad. She'll trade the HP and secure last hits for Q. Kind of see that happening right now. She actually has more denies than Razor. Let's see. I know Drayden is what, Ancient or Legend? Yeah, fucking Legend. And then we have this guy is Divine 2. Is Drayden the most value mid in the entire league is the question we're going to be seeing happen. Grabs a little value, Helm of Iron Will. We're actually going to see a Naga win a game. That's something that Hollow will be excited to hear, since I fucking hate this hero. Boots, Soul Ring, doing pretty good. I feel like it's really bad if you let a Night Stalker get 12 fucking denies over you as a Tide Hunter. I don't think that should be happening. Better creep control by Hobbs than by this Tide Hunter. I guess there is a big difference in MMR. You didn't even hit him with the E. He's still gonna lose this Rubik. Really not worth it. Kind of a panic play. What led to the circumstance here? I'm a little surprised how fast she is here, but I'm gonna guess Exorcism gives movement speed now. Gotta be careful. Yep. Something to note. Night Stalker just whittling down the Tide now. These levels of Magic Missile actually really hurt. Like, the damage skill is really high. It's almost a 400 damage nuke at level 4. Meantime, your Troll is doing well, but is it worth the trade? Night Stalker for Troll. First night, pretty successful for them. I'm guessing Hobbs is debating whether or not he wants Nullifier or Armlet after the Echo. I mean, I don't know why Nullifier would be that good, but I guess he just wants the value. Oh, you know what? It could also be if the game was going really bad, he could do it into Crimson because of the Troll Warlord. You can tell that I never buy Crimson. I fucking hate that item, even though it's good. I feel like there's like Troll and Razor have the same problem where if you don't have a team to actually keep them with you, it just doesn't work. And there's why Troll's bad. He ulties and he ends up walking into his own death right there. I guess because we found a carry that's worse than the Naga, and it's Troll Warlord. I mean, Troll actually did pretty good in lane 2, 24 denies, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Naga ends up catching up with the jungle. I actually wonder if the Ags build on Troll would have been good this game into a Naga. Really high evasion, dispel on this ensnare. I mean, you have the Death Prof, which kind of blows, and with the Night Stalker, so you'd need to get Ags with BKB. This is why I really don't like picking carries that have a lot of activatables that they need to cast repeatedly into Night Stalker. Or heroes that don't want to get BKB too much. Man, that just feels bad. Why he was felt like he needed to be farming there is, I don't know. Maybe felt like he needed to keep pressure on the Nagas illusions. And this Razor is really just not paying dividends as a pick. What a value invis. I feel like Naga is just playing kind of like third fiddle to the Death Prophet and the Night Stalker. That's probably why she's going for Ag's second item. Keep people rooted while they die to everything else. Smart, if you're going for Roshan, just blow the ulti, get it quick. Don't risk it. Ah, see, he's going for Ags anyways. He ultimated for Ancients, interesting. They have no troll. Okay, it's a backup. I guess they're just gonna give this up. This build right here. Yep, he's going for Nullifier. And it's not necessarily that he needs it, I guess. It's just kind of nice. It's a nice slow. If someone gets a 4-step for Yule's or Glimmer down the road, it'll counter it. But as we know, the game's about to come to a close. I feel like what we're seeing today, this week, is that although Tide has his place in these high tempo games, he just isn't that good. The hero suffers too much from too much movement. And that Razor is not necessarily like an auto win in terms of lane. I mean, 28 minutes, 16k advantage. You're pretty much doomed. So they're forced to leave their base. The war of attrition's too much for them. Naga's kind of big at this point, though. Why are you taking so much tower damage before the fight even starts? both your supports basically just died to Night Stalker. He 3-shots them. And that's GG. Really, like, impressive performance out of Hobbs. So here we have Akiri versus Aragorn, which Aragorn was kind of anticipated to do pretty good overall, but feels like they've been struggling. Bane with a strong open. They gave up the Spearbreaker for it though. But no worries, they're not scared of it, they know what to do. Or do they? X. I don't know about this Luna pick. You get this OPS Spearbreaker, but then you round it off of a Luna. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like he's been nerfed too heavily. Okay, something I don't understand. You see LC, you see Axe. Why Queen? Why Queen of Pain? Queen of Pain's gonna get like not shit on if he knows what he's doing, but it's like I don't know. Queen of Pain should be picked to get a good lane, not, you know, be break even or worse. The nice thing about Gyro is he doesn't really care about the lane, you know? He kind of does his own thing. He pushes out the lane, goes hit some creeps. And we see, like I said, LC does solid mid. Pretty sure week 1 I had Akiri. Yeah, we 2-0'd them. They definitely play around this idea of wanting to pressure and win their mid matchup. That's why I was not a fan of this like last pick Queen of Pain into an LC. At level 5 now, you should be farming this creep camp as well on Quap. I don't know all the mana efficiencies. I'm not a Quap spammer like Stars, but I'm pretty sure once you hit level 5 Scream of Pain, you could be hitting some neutrals. Shove lane, ignore the LC. Go hit some creeps, gank, whatever. Hey, if you go this AoE build, and these are the same creeps, I don't know, just feels bad, man. I think he got too hung up on trying to do something mid. Queen of Pain swings here for no gain. Alcy's just doing his own thing mid. So LC's biggest weakness is basically he just sits in mid and tries to outlast hit you and outtrade you. But if you just grab farm, I feel like the hero's game plan falls apart a little bit. Not doing rune control and quap also really hurts. Yeah, seems about right. Leave Rubik here if you want a jungle. But you already see 80 last hits on LC. I don't know. Feels bad, man. Right now, Eric, this guy's jungling in his jungle while they're getting kills on the Luna. It just feels like Dire is 2 steps behind tempo-wise to Radiant. Well, at least this time they got the gyro. He's actually not as farmed as I'd like him to be by now, but I don't think it matters to him too much. Yeah, he's still doing okay. Big Luna's definitely been forced to move around a little bit more than him. Definitely feels bad if you don't have a big stack on Gyro or Luna to eat. We're seeing a little bit of the weakness on X. If you run into a big team, it's just kind of like your big money sack. Spearbreaker can charge out, use bulldoze, all that crap. Meanwhile, Axe just kind of falls and dies to bullshit. So, I don't know if all this buildup is necessary by him. He could have saved himself like 300 gold by skipping this magic wand, just getting the stick. I mean, I figured this is probably necessary for that whole movement speed crap, but I don't know. If you're hitting creeps on Spearbreaker, it's a feels bad man game. I feel like Rubik is, yeah, I was gonna say, feel like Rubik is keeping his network differential okay. Like you can see right here, he's 1200 over the next lane. It's breaking even this difference between Spearbreaker and the Axe a little bit. Not entirely, but there's 2 big counters against this Bane on Dire. Silencer and Rubik. I don't know if I said anything. Feels bad. This is why Luna feels bad right now. There's just like heroes that do what she does equally or a little bit better, and her ultimate really doesn't turn fights anymore. Has she died less? I think she's died, or is it equal? Yep, equal. But she has more kill involvement than Gyro, and her farm is barely ahead of him. 1k or so. I really think it's just a story of this Queen of Pain, though. I feel like if you're into playing into a LC and an Axe, is the Kai really necessary? Just grab yourself your Sanjay, grab Lincoln's, your Ag Shard, all that crap after. Once again, Luna dies for the sins of her team. He doesn't have Manta, so he can't use his illusions to push out top. It definitely just feels... Oh, hold on. Spear breaker bullshit? Is that what ends up winning them the battle? Yeah. Oh, that feels bad. Oh! Bane to help her out in the background. If you don't have the whole team chasing, it's sometimes better to just turn around and get the supports. I definitely feel like LC is going to be getting some mad damage if this game went any further. Now let's see what happens. What are you doing? Oh. I feel like definitely Ag Shard instead of the Force Staff would have been nice this game. If you had the Ag Shard, you could have saved your carry. I mean, your offlane, whatever. It really is an AoE damage game, though. It's gonna be 1-by-1 feed. Yeah, I'm gonna throw Quap under the bus. I really feel like the reason why Kiri won this game is because this Queen of Pain pick makes no sense. Let's see what happens here with this fight. Did they overstay their welcome? Oh no, there's a smoke. Good silence by Silencer. Make sure you can't blank with your urn. Can they actually do this Roshan though? Yeah, they could not. Another reason why Luna kind of blows. But you know who can do Roshan? These guys. Yeah, these extended fights are just so disadvantageous to Dire. You have 2 ranged supports, and you have a ranged carry too. Just a ranged mid, I mean. Oh, that sucks. Did I see that right? He had a grip here on LC. But LC gets the duel off before he grips. And then because he wins the battle, it purges him, which then kills the Quap. Which then, because that got purged, they killed the... Oh my god. This would be like maddening. Alright. Should I say circumstantial? I would, but it just feels like they also won the game where Aragorn They had this Slardar went to Void Spirit. It really is just Prohibit wants to go smash you whatever you go mid. He just wants to punch you down. Alright. We've seen pretty much what happens. They're going to run out buybacks here. Spirit Breaker's also down without buyback. Did he just GG out? I don't know if the Orchid was necessary this game. If you're gonna go right click, go right click. If you're gonna go this AoE crap, go AoE crap. So here we have Snork versus Breakable. Overall, from what I remember, Snork felt like they had potential. Yeah, let's see. Snork I put into B tier, and then Breakable was into D tier. Both of these games were blowouts, so I'm not going to spend too much time on them. Man, those bashes, dude, would have made me rage. Let's see how everyone comes out of laning. Hopefully not a big surprise. It's really hard to... Wow, he waited way too long with that stack. Is it going to go off? It is. Okay, so it's close. I just don't see how... Is he going to figure out this guy's got a triple stack? Is he going to steal it from him? This is why you got to use your scan. All he had to do was use scan. He would have figured this out. I always guard my stacks if I'm going to have them. You can tell that tilted him. He pinged that right there. That would hurt. I mean, he's already got such a bad matchup for him. It just sucks. Yeah, 1200 advantage to Quap. Snork showing some flexibility with the Ember Spirit carry. If you have two cores that are just this ahead, and you have this core that needs his like timing, I don't know, just feels bad, man. Doesn't help that you had this unconventional set of supports. The Wind Ranger. Wow, you gotta hit your power shots. Well, he used up his quota for bashes, so good juke by PL at least. Wasting their time top. If you don't go Yules and you go Aether Lens with Boots of Travel, shit like that feels bad. Oh, the odds of that right there, not the greatest. I feel like PL's not getting enough for his team. And that's going to be the story. Yeah, PL's farm is just garbage. He gets brought down. Yeah, I don't think they ever recover. He gets Ag Shard to try to stall out the game, but once they jump on him, he's got no Dispel. Snore can play relatively carefree. And you can see right here, Queen of Pain didn't do this half build. He committed full on. There's just too much experience and not worth advantage. They know their advantage, so they're pushing up. I really think that this is just an outclass. I'm a little impressed that this guy actually turned his game around a little bit. Yeah, I mean, but I don't know. I think that's just like a matchup thing. I don't know. I've known some immortal spammers on Batrider. I don't know if you can actually break even or beat the Quap if a Quap contests your farm in the backline. Maybe if you have a support that helps you protect your lane. And that's it. There's She Wrote. All right. So this right here is Scoop Jackson's team with against Quagven or whatever. Can never say this name. This guy really likes this LD. I remember reversing them in a scrim, I think, and they pulled it out. Yeah, he's a grandmaster. The nice thing about LD is I don't think he really dies to Meepo. He doesn't really care. But that said, I don't think Meepo really dies to Bear either right off the rip. Right off the rip, I can say that I really don't like Slardar in general. Skipping ahead a little bit. I just feel like Slardar has too many like micro mechanics you need to care about to do well with. Pretty interesting draft by them to have a carry ET. I figure if you have two soft carries with the LD, that kind of all synergize a little bit. Use the clockwork to make up for the lack of stuns. I mean, Witch Doctor's got a solid stun even if it's delayed. Definitely feels like Dyer's has a higher skill cap, but easier to underperform or fuck up and lose the game on. Meepo's trying to pull away a little bit on farm. I feel like a simple sentry here and there by Radiant could have slowed it down. Whenever your meeple's gone like this, I feel like you could be pressuring mid tower. I mean, regardless though, if this minor of a trade against such a MMR difference is definitely worth it. You have Immortal versus Ancient 4. ET is pulled ahead a little bit of Jug. Let's see, he's doing solid. With the Juggernaut, I just feel like so much of your jungle's given up to this Meepo. Waste of time for him. Meepo's going for E-Blade Rush. Kind of sucks that you keep trading your Witch Doctor, but bad series of trades for Radiant. Meepo doesn't have to do anything yet. I mean, what's the timing here? You get E-Blade, you hit Roshan. Keep in mind though, Juggernaut's being outfarmed by a fucking Elder Titan right now. Skip ahead a little bit. Where's this guy's bear? Wow, he got juked by a player without any boots. If bear dies here, that's not good. Oh, that feels bad. Oh, that fight was on a razor's edge right there. Here he summons his bear, dies. ET almost kills the Meepo. Skip ahead a little bit. Honestly, Meepo's not that far ahead of this LD. They're keeping it remarkably close. He keeps losing his bear, but so has to resummon it. What was Meepo doing that fight? Farming. Could he solo Roshan anymore that early? Oof. Is Sheep the build this game into an LD and an LC? I feel like just right click stats. I don't know. I'm not a Meepo player, so I can't tell you. You go on top of this Meepo, get a good pick. No dual victories for LC though. Let's see, Slardar. Agshard, pretty good on him. Once he gets his level 20, it's just like such a big spike. We'll see. Oh man, this ET just fucking destroys people. What are you thinking? Crazy person. Wow, that was an unnecessary counter throw. It's hard to go in by yourself on Meepo here. You take AC on Meepo too, and it's just like, I mean, I get why he did it, but no, sorry, I can't get AC. I really like this ET pick into this Meepo. Pretty smart. Not a lot of people know how to play it, so. Zero dual damage on LC. This is definitely an ET show right here. Was it worth giving him the Aegis? I feel like it would have been better on this fucking Elder Titan. No buyback on Meepo though. No buyback on him either. Whoa, what did I skip? Why are you doing this? You go this blink in, do a lot of fucking damage build, and what do? You get jumped. Seems odd. You can't teleport out in front of a Meepo. It's not gonna happen. I mean, in front of a Clockwork, it's not gonna happen. Dyer still has an over advantage, but. Sorry, I missed this guy getting picked. Do you feel unkillable here with this DD? Oof, mistakes. I really think there's just like no counter play to this ET combo. I think it's just too much. He blinks in with his shard, gets his fucking thing, and I just feel like Meepo has no solution to that. When he's in, he just hurts so bad. And then I'm guessing they just get too much economic damage off that dead meepo push. Desperation smoke. And this is the craziest game ever. LZ's gonna win this with 30 dual damage. Wow. They didn't even need ET there. Really felt like Slardar didn't do very much this game. All right, we saw it happen. Meepo is not as good as people said. If you can play Earth Spirit. Oh my god, Elder Titan. Here we have Doc Ock versus Killjoy's team. So this is definitely the closer of the games. The Doc Ock got stomped in the other game, or at least it seems like they did. This game is closer and Doc Ock ends up winning. Right off the rip, you have a favorable matchup mid. Looks like... Are you gonna fall into the same mistake I fell into with picking this Rubik mid? Like, I literally made a meme video about this. Okay, let's see. OD levels his Q. Why would you fall into the same trap that I did? Why do I make content if you don't watch it? Or maybe the OD watched it and that was funny. And so now we have a second Rubik versus OD matchup. Go for it, to be fair. I feel like I did better with the Rubik. I don't know, maybe I didn't. What is this? Let's skip ahead to 6 minutes, 32, 30. Okay. He caught up though. Granted, this game, at least I guess you have Ravage or Magic Missile to steal, but it's really not that great. I'll be honest, if this game goes long, despite everything, it really just means that Doc Ock is a little bit less strong than you could imagine. Steel Snow Overgrowth, nice. While there's fights going on, Rubik is doing okay, but I mean, look at these steals. He still Anchor Smash, just feels bad. No Rubik. Bad micro by Killjoy. He could have killed this guy for sure. This is gonna be one of those cases where you just don't have the greatest answers for this PL PL carry. Means pretty much it's all on the gyro, right? And look how feels bad, man, that is for PL. For Mars into PL. Your Q should not affect illusions, in my opinion. It's really stupid that it does. Makes the matchup really unfavorable. You definitely have a small answer to this gyro, but I feel like, I don't know. This Rubik makes less sense to me. But hey, B seems to be a more comfortable Rubik player than me. Alright, let's see what the deciding factors were here. Roshan goes down. I mean, look at this. PL's really not taking much damage. Pretty much just have to teleport out whenever you get stuck on the Mars into this PL. No, why would you bring him back down? That feels bad. I feel like I actually could have maybe pulled off this Rubik if Killjoy was more comfortable with the Brewmaster. It's a little bit of miss microwing. It's just really the PL just got too big. Oh well. Oh well, it was a valiant attempt. I respect the try. She's gonna be an attrition battle now. Oh, they actually got a kill on the PL. During a push. Oh, see, Spears actually hit the fucking hero. This living armor is really cucking the PL. Actually amazed he got that stun considering that he doesn't have shard. And look how much effort it's taking to kill this PL. Jesus. PL actually went back in. Sacrificial. Wasn't even that bad, but Rubik actually got the steal. I don't know, bro. Feels bad. Alright. They get Aegis. They push it in. They don't have enough to deal with 2 lives. Barely have enough to deal with 1 life from PL. He starts saving up for a divine, but too little too late. Rubik doppelgangered into the Ravage. Feels bad. I'm not gonna do replay analysis with this because these games hurt. Definitely don't experiment on game day. Stick to don't experiment on game day. Stick to just doing it in scrims. Then here we have the second game. I don't really play Kunkka, but I think the Kunkka paid off. Definitely came down to a thing where we realized that their supports were their strength, and I picked the mid that couldn't just be camped and wasn't just shut down by a bad matchup, which I kind of let them have in the first game with the OD. So here's last week's tier. We definitely can say off has fallen. I would say they've fallen to the B tier. I may have overestimated them. Scoop maintains their A tier, I would say. I'd say they're probably one of the harder teams to verse. Let's see who did like exceptionally in this game, this week, before I get too ahead of myself. So the big 2-0s were the bye for Jihad, but they're going to stay in D tier. We have Cult of Paint doing pretty good against 4 boosted, but 4 boosted's been feeling off, ironically, this week. Hobbs having a good performance, definitely a big jump for him. Akiri maybe found their footing, and then Snork is solid and steady. Stars looking strong, played into K-Stigs. Definitely felt like even though K-Stigs had some game plan ideas, they were just maybe outclassed, or maybe their thought process was maybe incorrect. So where's that put everyone? So let's talk about the teams. Potato Heaven felt really outclassed this week. They played against Venom's team. Venom did really good. Venom continues to be one of the strongest teams in my opinion. And then Strilling versus 222. Yeah, I kind of stick to the statement. I definitely think with Strilling's carry salt, if the right heroes get buffed, they could be really strong. 222 seems like a interesting team. I'd say they kind of parallel my own team a little bit in terms of their dynamic, in terms of their mid and carry dynamic. But we'll see where they go with that. Cult of Paint is like the power of friendship team. I don't know how they keep pulling things out of their ass. Felt like they should have lost this week, but yet they didn't. Meanwhile, 4 Boost is the opposite, has the credentials, but comes up short. Stars continues to do well, be played into K-Stigs, but I don't know. I feel like he's kind of going to be one of those win all the majors, lose the TI sort of people this season. They're definitely going to be scary to run into in the regular season. I'll be curious how they are in the late stages of the regular season or playoffs. Maybe people start figuring out what to do against them. Hobbs definitely felt a lot stronger. And the fact that they unseated S tier is a really big deal. Off to the trenches of off after losing to Hobbs. Akiri, I mentioned at the beginning, he just seemed a lot stronger. And then the 2-0 they had, 0 probably got them going. After that, and then Aragorn seemed like it was going to be promising from what I heard, but ended up falling short. Snork, definitely a flexible team. They definitely pick off the cuff. I think these are the guys. Definitely relying on their carry and Snork. And they seem to rely on like the standard matchups for mid. Breakable's doing not the greatest. I don't know. I think they can maybe figure it out, but not too promising. Scoop Jackson's very predictable, but very strong. They seem to do their own thing. And then the Vagina Clappers Cakefen's team, pretty interesting idea with the ET into the Meepo. Worked out pretty well. Who knew they knew how to play ET carry? Killjoy is a solid team overall. I don't know how deep they'll make it into the playoffs. And then Doc Ock seems to suffer distribution problems, but they're taking the right. Okay. Basically, they took a game off of Killjoy, but it was a Rubik game. I feel like, why am I making content if you don't watch it and then pick a Rubik mid into OD like I did? And we versed Ego this week. Definitely strongish. I don't want to give to myself too many excuses, but I was drafting while still hitting the gym. So I fucked up game 1. Game 2 was definitely much more convincing. I don't know. Just messing with you, but I mean, it's true, but definitely took a peg out of me. As a consequence, I will drop myself down to B tier, even though I think I'm still A tier. Stars. Do I give them the S tier? Alright, fuck it. I'll give them the S tier. They 2-0'd K-Sticks. They deserve it. K-Sticks had moments of glory. It feels weird punishing them for it. Strilling. How did they? Yeah, they broke even against 2-2-2. I'm a little worried that Strilling might, unless the patch turns around for them, might continue to drop. I'd put them at the B tier for now on a timeout. Gonna keep 2-2-2 in here. Ego. You belong here with me. Hobbs jumps up to A. Venom's looking more and more like an A team as well. That's Hobbs's team. Can't really justify this guy moving out of B tier. Breakable's not a really strong team. Doc Ock went 1-1 this week, right? Yeah. But they also went into a Rubik, so these guys go down and see. Vagina Clappers. Who did they verse? Scoop, and they did pretty good. Well, if Scoop is there and Vagina Clappers wasn't B, I could put them up to A. Akiri, they think deserves the B tier now. Aragorn, you're dropping on the C. Son of Paint deserves the middle of the road. Killjoy, you stay in C tier. And honestly, I think these guys just stay the same. I mean, Potato did go against Venom, so it's a little hard, but I don't know. Is there a tier lower than D that I could do? I feel like 4 boosted should go there, like double D, doubly disappointed. Yeah, let's do that. I feel like these guys should be doing way better. Just way better. Okay, let's move. Let's put the comparison back here so we can see where everyone ended up. All right, that is the tier list for this week.